Okay, go ahead and talk. Tell me everything, nice and loud.
The reason that we went to see Katherine Kullman was because of my cousin, Lisa Jacobson, who had, I believe it was spinal bifida when she was born. Okay. She was, she could not walk or anything. She was crippled from like mid-body, just below her chest, all the way down her legs and everything. I mean, she just couldn't move. And we went there, hopefully to heal her. And they only gave her till she was going to be like 10, maybe, to live. She's alive today, as far as I know. The last few years, a few years ago, I got a hold of her somehow, and
You did talk to her.
She was still alive, and she's 10 years my junior.
Oh, wow.
So.
And you're 52?
62.
So she's 52?
She's 52. She's got to be 52. I believe she was 10 years younger. She was way younger than me, though.
Yeah.
So I think my aunt kind of took a distaste for me because I was healed and
She wasn't.
she wasn't. But I believe that she's alive today because she was there.
Tell me about your healing through your eye. Give me as many details as Holy Spirit shows you right now.
The healing, and now you got to understand, I was a child. So I believed in this not so much, but my mother kept looking at me and she asked me questions, and finally she was convinced that I was being healed. And they said, someone in the audience over here, pointed in our direction, is being healed of an eye ailment right now.
And it was just your left eye.
Just my left eye.
You were blind in your left eye?
As close as possible you can be. I mean, doctors had me wear a patch on my right eye to try to strengthen my left eye.
Right.
It didn't work because I kept walking into things. I'd walk into a wall, I didn't see it,
Yeah.
or missed the corner or something.
Sure.
So, the patch didn't work. But
So you now, your mom's sort of dragged you there, or you are just accompanying her for your aunts, for your cousin, for your younger sister?
They were mainly going for Lisa to be hopefully healed.
And what was her condition?
Like I said at the beginning, I believe she had birth defect since she was born. So she never was able to walk. I don't even think she could crawl. Well, to crawl, she had to pull herself with her arms. That's because her legs didn't work.
Right.
And
so where was Katherine Kullman when you went into the amphitheater? Where was she in location to you? Do you remember?
we were about 15, 20 rows back.
Okay.
So,
How many, off the top of your head, would you guess how many people were in the amphitheater? Was it thousands?
There was that could fit in there. Probably 1,000 people anyway.
It was 1970, 69, 70, 71. Yeah.
Yeah, I found afterwards, after the healing, and after I'd been up on stage, and she didn't touch me. She went like
She called you up
my mother, when she asked about an eye ailment, my mother raised her hand, and we both went up to the stage, and they checked me out a little bit, and they brought me up on stage with my mother, And here's another offshoot of what happened. She put hands on my mother too. Not hands on, but she did the same thing. If my mother
Barely touched her. Didn't touch
her. Just went like this. And by the power of the Lord, you are healed. And then you flew backwards. It was like a
flew.
Yeah, I'm telling you that it was a force of wind or something. It felt like you would feel if a hurricane or a tornado hit you in the chest, you just went backwards. I mean, it didn't hurt or anything. It was just, especially for me, it was a little scary. And then I popped right up after I hit the floor, or didn't hit the floor. They catch you, and she did it to my mother, and my mother went down. Mom didn't get up for a few minutes. It took her a while. And I believe my mom beat seven bouts. I think she had 6 or 7 bouts of cancer. She was supposed to die way before she died. And she beat cancer so many times.
Wow.
And I think that may have something to do with what they did on that stage with Katherine
Right, so
Kullman.
in your opinion, as a 10-year-old, and you don't have much of an opinion because you're really not thinking, and you know what flying's like as a 10-year-old,
right?
And you do crazy things.
Yeah, you jump
leave,
off the roof with towel on.
Yeah, as you became a roofer and a painting contractor, the same way that I did, and you and I just met less than 24 hours ago, and you've logged in many, many years of painting as I have. Let's go from the stage now to the doctor's office.
Oh, well, first doctor, because my mother revealed to him why we were there. He said, I'm not going to even look at him. That's it. He said, I don't believe in that. And he didn't get healed. And so we left. And we went to, I think, 2 more doctors. And the 3rd doctor finally checked me out and found out that my eyesight, my left eye, had returned to like maybe 20/60, whereas it was close to blind previously.
Yeah.
So that proved my mother's point. Me, I had a 10-year-old. I didn't have a point. I was just at a doctor's office. I mean, so I have no reason. I had no reason to not believe it, but I had no reason to believe it because I was 10 years old.
Sure.
So it's just
Yeah.
something that happened, but it's always been in my mind my whole life.
All right. Now, this evening, we are sitting here in Largo on West Bay Drive in Largo at 8:01 in a big, huge commercial building. We just met yesterday at 7 a.m. in the morning, and Curtis was out on the streets, and he sat down next to me at the park bench, right?
Yeah, that's fact.
Yeah, and so we've been conversing ever since, and having just gotten out of the hospital, I'm just gonna share with you because I was in the hospital, and they do diagnose us according to the way that man thinks. I have, by the way, I've just put him on the beamer, and so yesterday I met you, right?
Yes.
And as a result of it, yesterday morning at 7 o'clock, you asked me if I would mind if you sat down on the park bench
Yes.
with me. Go ahead and tell everybody how that went.
I just asked if you'd mind if I sat there, and you said, sure, no problem. I sat down and we chatted for a minute or two.
Yeah.
And then you asked me if I was hungry, and I said, well, I could eat, yeah, I'm a little hungry. So you went and got me a roll and
A tea drink.
yeah.
Because the bakery wasn't even open, but they gave me a nice warm bun, and then I brought it to you, and then we were sitting right in front of my friend Fred, who I just met a week earlier, Fred the barber, and you kept looking for your comb or asking about a comb, if I had a comb, or you were trying to find your comb. The next thing you know, I left you there and went inside the salon, and then what happened after you walked in there and Kathy?
Yeah, she took me to the back to her area where she cuts hair and everything, and shampooed my hair and cut it and did a real nice job and got rid of some of this chin hair that was getting out of control.
And then what did she do after the money that had been given to you? She left you with what?
She gave me $5 and said, go get yourself something to eat, or go to McDonald's or whatever.
And so you went down to McDonald's.
Yes.
And you had a Egg McMuffin?
Not bacon, sausage, egg, and cheese.
With a nice large coffee?
No, I actually got a Coke.
Got a Coke?
Yeah.
Came back, sat down, had yourself a nice cigar, and sat there, and then I had gone back to the office, and I got a call from you, and you thanked me, and you thanked Fred, and you thanked Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came over, and I started to show you where I live very carefully, because people are living in total fear today, correct? I mean, you just got you were in the hospital, right?
Yeah.
And tell me about sleeping on the streets and sleeping out trying to hide so that you don't disturb anybody. Tell everybody what that's like.
It's living hell. It's not. I've never not had a roof over my head ever in my life before now.
Yeah.
And I just, you gotta find a place that I didn't want to be by other people who, I know there's people that live on the street by the Pinellas Trail, off to the side of the trail and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to be there,
Who does?
No, I mean, even if I had to be there, I wanted to be by myself.
Sure. You're like me.
I just don't want to be with a crowd of idiots that they're going to start fighting with each other or whatever,
Well, they weren't taught how to clean up after themselves. And one of the things I found unique